why most notaries fail within the first years and what you can do to avoid that. How can you actually succeed? Look, I'm so glad to do this video. I'm actually excited to do this one because I know that most notaries suck. They don't know what they're doing, and most of them are going to fail within the first year. Not even trying to be mean, just keep it real. Y'all know how I am in this channel. I try to keep it as honest as possible. I try not to BS people because that's not going to help you move the needle in your life. You know what I mean? And I don't want that bad karma, that bad juju on me, that bad voodoo, whatever you want to call it. I don't need any of that. So this is why most notaries fail within the first year. Most of you guys won't watch this till the end because you're hyped up on dopamine and you're going to be one of the main people I'm talking about that are not going to succeed in this business or any other business because you're too like scatter-minded, scatterbrained, and you can't stick to one thing. So I want to start off with number one. You're not consistent. You're just not consistent. So what I told a family member, right? So I basically had a family member that is in the realtor business, right? They became a realtor, and I was just letting them know, like, treat it like a business. Don't treat it like a side hustle. Because if you treat it like a side hustle, you're going to get paid like a side hustle. So with that being said, when you enter into this notary business, you need to think about it as in, I'm going to be working in this business for 6 months to a year. As soon as you join it. So that way your expectations are set to some realistic parameters. So that way, when you don't make $1 million or $100,000 in 1 month as a notary, you're not sitting there like, oh my gosh, it's not working. So I always say, you want to let yourself know that it's going to take some time. It'll take even less time when you're not watching the clock, but it's going to take time. So I told myself, I'm going to be focused on this and nothing else. I don't want to focus on anything else for 1 year. 1 year. My first goal was like, all right, I just need to be able to pay my expenses. I'm going to give myself a few months. I just need to be able to pay my expenses and just stick to this business and don't focus on anything else that's shiny. Don't think about that right now. Who cares about the vending machines? Who cares about the Airbnb, the Turo, all this cool stuff that you hear influencers talking about? Yeah, that stuff is cool and it all works, but not when you're doing them all at the same time and you're interested in all of them. You need to focus on one thing at a time. You feel me? So be consistent, focus on one thing at a time. And most of you guys won't do that. After a few months, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Most of you guys are going to get your commission. After, if you're going to watch a couple of videos, you might buy some courses, but you're too cheap to actually buy some courses and invest in yourself. And that cheapness is actually keeping you exactly where you are, because if you knew what you needed to know, you'd be where you needed to be. And the only way to get there is by either consuming a lot of free content and sifting through the bullshit that's out there, or paying somebody that already cultivated the information in one spot and are giving it to you to learn. So stop being cheap, because that's actually keeping you broke. Anyways, you're gonna get your commission, watch a couple of videos, doom scroll back on TikTok or all these other platforms, and you're gonna go back to your regular life and not make any money and say that it doesn't work, but you have your commission. You're gonna tell everybody you got your commission. I'm a notary, but I haven't made no money in it yet. Nobody cares you didn't make no money. That's your fault. Sorry, a little bit of rant, but I'm just being real because I want to see people make progress, but everybody just makes so many excuses for yourself. So I'm gonna even put this. No, you're not consistent and you make excuses. I don't want those type of people around me. Get away from me, because you're going to slow down my energy. Next up is not consistent marketing. So you're not consistent in your marketing. That's what's going to hold you back. You make one post on Instagram, a couple of posts on TikTok for 1 month, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not getting any clients. I tried everything. No, you didn't. You posted a few times. You didn't get business like you thought you was, because you thought that being a notary was so easy because it was easy for you to get your commission, and now you're not getting any business. What the hell? Like, you think is, don't get me wrong, it's not extremely hard, but it ain't that easy. You're not gonna make 2 posts on TikTok and now you're gonna get like $3,000 a month worth of clients. It doesn't work like that. You're not marketing consistently. You're not trying other platforms. You're not trying new strategies. And you need to be doing that. You need to be consistently marketing, because that's what's going to bring business in, whether it may be paid or whether it's going to be organic. You need to be consistently marketing, because what happens is when you start off and you don't have a recurring revenue of clients, or those comeback clients, the clients that are always coming back to you, if you're not doing that and you're not working with those clients, then the only clients that you're going to get are the one-off clients. And those one-off clients, once you use them once or twice, you don't have them anymore. So you're on to the next person. You know what I'm saying? So as a person that's in the notary business, you need to become a marketer. You need to be constantly marketing. You need to always be finding that fresh kill. Like one of my mentors told me, I paid for him like was like $2,000 for like 2 hours, some BS like that. I was like, what the? I'm like, damn, that's expensive. But expensive is mentality. But anyways, what one of my mentors told me is that he said, you're a marketer. You always have to fight for fresh blood, because you're always fighting for fresh blood as a marketer, always fighting for that next client, always fighting for that next client. But level one is consistently marketing, learning how to get one-off clients consistently, and then upgrading and getting to the level where you can remarket to those clients and get the same clients coming in over and over. But that's what's stopping you from getting to the next level. That's why most notaries fail, because they're not consistently marketing. You just do it. You do a little bit and then you just stop. Next up is undercharging for your services. I don't know what's up for your people, but let me tell you this. Undercharging for services. Damn, my handwriting is so shitty, y'all. Like, I'm always on a laptop. I'm forgetting how to write slowly. Horrible. Anyways, undercharging for services. A lot of you guys do this because, and no disrespect, I'm saying this with no disrespect. I'm not coming from a rich background at all. My whole family is immigrants. I'm the first person that was in America to be born on this land. You see what I'm saying? So like when I go back home to Jamaica, we coming from nothing. You know what I'm saying? So when I say what I'm about to say, it's not out of disrespect. It's out of just learned knowledge. No pun intended. But the reason why a lot of people are undercharging for their services is because they don't make a lot of money themselves. You're probably broke. You probably don't make that much money. So when you charge a client or you're charging an individual $125 for the service, and all you're doing is going to the location, authorizing the documentation, and then stamping, you're like, damn, this is a lot of money. I'm charging way too much. I should only be charging $50. But what you don't understand is what's a lot of money to you is not a lot of money to these other people. You see what I'm saying? Like that $300 that you did for 15 minutes worth of work might be like, oh my gosh, $300 in 15 minutes? But to them, it's just like they needed a service. You did it for them. They feel like you provided good service, but you feel like you're ripping them off. It's not the case. You need to charge more for your services. And what I realized, even in my own business, I was charging a little bit. Like I even started at $50 and I worked my way up slowly. But the only difference between where knowledge was back then and where knowledge is now, the only thing that changed is confidence. The only thing that happened, like the same service that I'm charging now for like $300 or like $250 is the same service that I was offering for $50. Ain't shit changed. Excuse my French. Nothing changed besides my confidence. And I was like, oh, I got to charge more and people will keep paying it. You see what I'm saying? So that's why Alex Hormozy, a business entrepreneur, says that one of the easiest levers you can change in your business is just up in the prices. So up your prices. You don't need to be charging $20, $50 unless you're just starting off in the business. Then it makes more sense because you're gaining your confidence and you're just learning. You see what I'm saying? You're just learning. Next up is your poor organization, which a lot of people are poor at this. Your poor organization is slowing you down because it's stopping you from getting to the next level. And like, for example, let's say you get 1 client a week, 3 clients a week. You have no sort of system and you have no way of keeping track of all of that stuff, that if you were to get 10 people in one day, you wouldn't even know what to do because you have no system. You're not organized whatsoever. So that's keeping you where you are. If you come up with some sort of way to stay organized, to make sure that you're up to date on your appointments, that make sure that you have all the clients' documentation in the right place, then when you have more clients coming in, it's easier to navigate. It's easier to take on more clients. You're making sure that you're providing the utmost service that you could possibly provide to other people, and you're not sweating while doing this process. You need to have your organization in set. Your organization is also going to take you to the next level, and that's why even me within my own business, I'm always working on the systems, because I understand that you lean on your systems in your business. You don't lean on people. You lean on your systems to make sure your systems are good, and then your people or your employees lean on the system that you created, but you don't lean directly on people, because sometimes people break a lot faster than the system will. So your organization and your system. Let me just put system beside this, because you guys know I'm big on system. Your organization / system is going to be the thing that helps you to level up and make sure that you're hitting all the key points you need in your business. When you have your system in check, you know that you're asking for the review after, you're dropping off your business cards, you're sending a thank you letter after. Just make sure that you're hitting all the marks that you need to. And when you're consistently hitting all the marks that you need to, that's leveling you up and allowing you to get to the next level in your notary business. But most people aren't going to do that because they're lazy. You only got 1 client, so you think that you don't need to do this other stuff. But if you can just think about what happens in the future and what you're going to need in the future now, it can help you to be ready in this exact moment. So that's another thing. Next one is, and this is probably the one I'll end it on, but you want to make sure that you're treat it like a business, bro. Like, treat it like a business. Ooh. Oh my gosh, where's my eraser? Treat it like a business. Oh my gosh. Treat it like a business. Anyways, most of you guys aren't treating it like a business. You got because you were able to get your commission so easily, you're not valuing the fact that this can be an actual business. Like, I just made a video showing how you can get to $100,000 a year. Most people don't get to $100,000 a year. So if you can get to $100,000 a year within this business, you need to be treating it 100% like a real business. If you're not making $100,000 now, but I'm telling you, as somebody that makes way more than $100,000 in my business, that you can do it, then you need to be saying, like, you know what? Let me lock in. Let me take this business seriously, because I know that this can bring me $100,000 in a year. But most of you guys treat it like a side hustle because the commission was so easy to get. You just like, you don't, because you didn't work too hard for it, depending on what state you're in, you're not giving it the love and the respect that it needs. And it's not going to get to that point to where you can make $100,000 a year. So don't treat it like a side hustle. Treat it like a real business, especially if you're trying to replace that your business that you have now. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't even call it a side hustle. Oh my gosh. I don't even call it a side hustle anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes I don't like the word side hustle because it takes away from what you're trying to do. You see what I'm saying? Because when you treat it like a side hustle, once you deem it the name side hustle, to be honest with you, you're not giving it the respect that it needs to grow. Because if you treat it like a side hustle, you can get paid like a side hustle. But you need to treat it like a real business. Put your energy into it, put your money to it, make sure that you're upgrading your knowledge all the time, make sure you're paying for your coaching, make sure you're hopping in these communities, shameless plug, and just make sure you're getting these courses. Like, it's important that you do these things because these are going to be the things that take you to the next level. But most of you guys are being so lazy and so cheap that you're the reason why you're not getting to the next level. Like they tell us, once you get to like higher levels of business, one of the things that they tell us is like the biggest bottleneck in your business is a lot of times is you. You're standing in your own way. You're the reason why you're not making $100,000. You're the reason for that. So you need to be able to lock in, treat this like a real business, not like a side hustle, so you can actually get paid like that. But for anybody that's looking for more information, go ahead and hop into the community, Notary Knowledge community. I just created it 2-3 days ago. Already had 48 people jump into it. I'm probably going to let it go to like 100 people, let 100 people get into here for free. Because you're finding about this late on YouTube, I'll leave it up for you guys for a little bit to hop in for free. You go in here, get into the information, hop into these Zoom calls. You can work with us as a group. Got the group coaching calls. And then also, if you need to work with me one-on-one, you can click the link in the description below, or you can come to the community and click on Work with Knowledge directly to do one-on-ones. I'll put you into a program where we work one-on-one every single week, and I'll teach you how to get to 3 to 8K plus in your notary business, working with you one-on-one and combing through your businesses. But anyways, if you need more help or more information, let me know. Hop into those comments below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. And this is why most notaries fail within the first year. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace, love, knowledge is out.